What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Tony Mac, a return of the Mac. What's happening? What's happening? How y'all doing? Thank y'all for clicking on the videos. I'm welcoming everybody to the channel, those who've been riding with me, those who are new to the channel. I want to talk a little bit with y'all about that Jamal Murray suspension. Before I get into any of that, though, let me say thank you to each and every last one of y'all that clicked on my videos, that's been riding with the channel. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And as a small YouTuber, the only way we grow is if y'all let them know, and y'all can do that by simply hitting the like button, the share button, hey, or subscribe to the channel. Now let's get back to what we were talking about. So Jamal Murray got hit with a fine of $100,000. $100,000. You know, may not be a lot of money to him, but that's some money that can change my life. Let me get this light off, y'all, so y'all can stop seeing this shine in your face. But Jamal Murray got hit with a $100,000 fine. And I know some of y'all probably wondering, for what? Did he punch somebody? Did he kick somebody? Did he stab somebody? Did he at least spit on somebody? No. They hit him with that fine simply for throwing a towel in a heat warmer on the floor. Now, I know some of y'all gonna get on me and like, bro, Tone, bro, he threw that thing right there by Karl Anthony Towns' foot. A player could have got injured. Somebody could have gotten hurt. Bruh, he threw a towel on the court. Now, we always want to talk about how today's NBA is getting soft. You know, I'm a barber. When I'm in the barber shop, all the old heads keep coming in there trying to diss LeBron. And LeBron can never be the GOAT, Tone. LeBron can never be the GOAT, Tone, because Michael Jordan had to go through the bad boy Pistons where it was rough. And you go through the lane and they foul you. They're committing crimes every time you try to drive through the lane. And I'm like, okay, I hear that. But y'all are acting like the players are changing the rules that are stopping all of that stuff from happening. Y'all literally are finding a player from throwing a towel on the floor for $100,000. Now, look, I get the other side of the argument. Y'all saying a player could have been hurt. Some people even gonna say $100,000 was a slap on the wrist. They should have suspended him a few games. But I'm like, y'all really want to set this precedence to where a player can't even get frustrated? I mean, just last week, y'all was getting mad at Pat Bev, you know, for hitting somebody with a basketball. And I'm not trying to defend that. I'm just saying I respect Pat Bev's ability to stay consistent with his job. Because if y'all remember, somebody threw the ball at Pat Bev. He caught it, threw it back at one of the disrespectful fans, hit him in the head with it. And when they said, Pat Bev, that's the wrong fan, he said, all right, throw the ball back so he can hit the right fan. Some of y'all say that's ignorance and anger. I call that completing the job, completing the mission. Now, I'm just playing, man. I know Pat Bev apologized for that. You know what I'm saying? There's no place to get irrational behind something. Even what happened to me recently, man, I end up getting let go off of a job because of letting my anger get the best of me when dealing with, how do I put this without getting my YouTube channel canceled? But sometimes in life, you got to be the bigger man even when you're not even in the wrong fully. Sometimes in life, you know, I had a situation similarly on a job where I got into it with a disrespectful supervisor. And the only thing I did was try to explain to that supervisor that you won't be disrespecting me in any kind of way. But I didn't understand that most of these corporate America jobs now today want you to really be like, yes, a master, yes, a boss. I do whatever you need me to do. I not do nothing. I'm not a human anymore. I'll be what they call a slave, AKA a robot. Yes, corporate America jobs. Yes, everywhere that wants you to be politically correct. In other words, you want me to lie about who I am all the time. That's what we want out of people. We want folks to fake their emotions all the time, like we did with Jamal Murray. He was frustrated. They are the NBA defending champions, okay? They are the NBA defending champions. And they're down 0-2 to a team that we didn't even think would probably, well, I don't know. Minnesota probably will make it this far, but we wasn't expecting Minnesota to be making a run for the finals or even making a run to get a ring. Let's be honest about that, y'all. We know Ant-Man is the truth. We know Ant-Man is the future. We also assume he's Michael Jordan's son. But at the end of the day, I didn't think they were ready this year. But they looking like the NBA ready. They're looking like the NBA ready. You know. Jamal Murray. This is a lesson you got to learn. Shoot, that's a lesson I had to learn. I thought I had a right to speak my mind. I thought that I can explain to a supervisor in the same energy they gave me that I'm not the one you can talk to crazy like that. But just like Jamal Murray, I got hit with that belt of reality. Because that job show walked me right up out of there and gave me my walking papers. The same way the NBA gave Jamal Murray that $100,000 fine. You know, don't make it right, don't make it fair, but at least teach you as a man, and you got to keep your cool, brother. Especially and I'm not trying to make it that way, but as a black man in America, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. When you're a black man in this country, the world look at you like you a lion, whether they want to accept it or not. They look at you like you a lion. And when you're smiling and you're overly friendly with the rest of the world, then you're that cool lion, that the cowardly lion that we can play and pet and be friends with. But when you are that ferocious animal, you got to remember they look at you as a lion. I'm talking to black men specifically. I've been holding this in because this is my little sports YouTube channel, so I try not to walk the lines of this kind of conversation, but I'm just being honest with you. I don't see Luka Doncic getting a $100,000 fine. And I'm a big fan of Luka Doncic. Heck, on one of my other videos, I joke about the fact that Luka Doncic is light-skinned so black folks can be more of a fan of him. But I'm being honest with you. I think a lot of times people just, I ain't gonna say a lot of times, just keeping it real. Folks in America don't want to be honest with the fact that you judge black men in America harsher than you judge anybody else. And y'all don't give us any grace. Heck, not even other black men sometimes. We're not given any grace. So lesson we have to learn is, hey, you know you're in an environment where they look at you like you a lion. You know you in an environment where they look at you like you an aggressive beast, even when you're not even coming to do anything. It's just your coolness, you know? It's just your realness. I had a fellow comedian give me some game and told me some of my energy when I first walked into the comedy scene was rubbing other comics the wrong way, which was surprising to me because I never was meaning to be offensive to anybody. I was just being myself. But me being a big, black, confident black man makes certain people feel inferior. So instead of them realizing that's an issue with you, y'all charge me up for it. Now I'm going a little too real, y'all. Let me pull back out of it and talk a little bit more about these NBA playoffs because I have been enjoying them. But I had a little bit of stuff to get off my chest, y'all. I have been enjoying these NBA playoffs, like I've been saying. KD, LeBron, Steph Curry, all out of the NBA postseason. They all have been kicked out of the NBA postseason. Steph Curry wasn't even invited. Shout out to all three of those legends. But we are still enjoying the playoffs. Something nobody thought would happen. Without those three big names. Also Giannis Antetokounmpo, who really didn't play this playoffs because he was, you know, facing a bad injury. Not a bad injury. Some people might speculate Giannis. Some people might speculate Giannis turn his back on his team. Some might say that. I don't know. I think that a lot of times the NBA or some of these teams are telling their star players to sit down. I'm a big Pelican fan, and I felt like that's what happened with Zion. When Zion had a really, really big game in that play-in loss to the Lakers, which I think the NBA had something to do with that. But he ended up going down with somewhat of somewhat of a sprain. I want to say a sprained knee or sore knee, something like that. I could be wrong, y'all, so please don't judge me for that. But throughout the playoffs, he didn't play. Zion is clearly the best player on the New Orleans Pelicans, so why isn't he playing in the playoffs? Because some teams saying we paying him way too much money to go out there and risk an injury. So we rather sit him and just tank for the season. But then you're going to fire his head coach. But then you're going to try to fire his head coach and blame everything on him if they don't get it done. The NBA is something else, man. But that's the way it goes, you know. Business is business. Politics is politics. That is the way it goes, you know. That is the way it goes, man. I just say, Jamal Murray, a lot of people talking trash about you, saying that you should be suspended, saying that the fine should be worse. Even Stephen A. Smith, I think he was kind of saying something like it should be a hefty fine or a suspension. I think the same people who are saying that is capping, and they're the same people that act like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, it was the worst thing ever. These same people go watch action movies where we seeing gun violence, shooting up, good fight scenes. These same people go enjoy boxing matches and UFC fights. These same folks who act like you throwing a towel in a heat warmer on the court is the most egregious thing in basketball. The Stephen A. Smiths of the world, who I'm a fan of, I ain't got no beef with Stephen A. Smith, but I got to call out some stuff. The same guys who are acting like Jamal Murray throwing something on the court was the most egregious thing ever to happen in basketball are the same guys who will say LeBron James don't deserve to be the GOAT because he didn't have to play in an era where if you went through a lane, a guy can grab you and slam you to the ground. It's funny how when everybody like to shit on LeBron and defend Michael Jordan and talk about the 80s, they only bring up when the Detroit Pistons or a certain team wasn't actually playing basketball when they defended Michael Jordan. You don't hear them talking about, yo, when Michael Jordan came to the lane, Dennis Rodman to make sure he rip him, or Bill Laimbeer gonna make sure he blocked the shot. You don't never hear them talk about that. They always talk about when he come to the lane, he know he was getting elbowed, he getting dropped, he getting slam dunked, he getting tackled, we gonna bite on him, we gonna kick him, we gonna do all this stuff to Michael Jordan when he came in the lane. Y'all see all that stuff, the same people, right? None of that was egregious. Michael Jordan coming to the lane and y'all grabbing him out the air and slamming him to the ground, something that could have ruined his career. The guy y'all say is the greatest basketball player ever, Stephen A. Smith. Something that could have clearly ruined his career. That's not egregious. But throwing a towel on the floor is. Come on, man. Who is paying y'all to say this stuff? Who is paying y'all to go at this? Like, same thing with Will Smith. I was talking, folks, all those folks faking at the Oscars. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock. That is the worst thing that happened. Like, we ain't America. Like we don't know how America get down with other countries get out of line. Stop playing, bruh. Y'all literally know Will Smith for action movies. His character, Mike Lowry, has been way more violent than the real Will Smith. But ain't none of us saying, let's cancel that movie. That's too violent. That's too violent. Let's cancel the movie. No, he slapped Chris. That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Man, get off the gas, that bull crap. Get off the gas of the bull crap, man. Like I said, it's another one of us getting targeted. Whether we like to accept it or not, America, we might as well keep it real. And it's Tony Mack. Well, it's always real, but it's always love. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. If y'all feeling the video, go ahead on like, subscribe, and share the channel for your boy. I appreciate it, man. Tony Mack, one love. Peace.